so many of my friends said, right, because it's a Sunday Times bestseller, and they said, Al, you've got to read this book, you've got to read this book. And I think it's because it's really resonated with people. I mean, what sort of reaction have you had? It's a book about parenting, we should say.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's lovely. That's really lovely to hear. So, yeah, it's a book I wrote about my experience getting pregnant, having a kid, going through pregnancy and the newborn days, and how sort of having a kid sort of just changes your life in every way you can possibly imagine. And the reaction I've had has been so gorgeous. I get so many messages, and I got a message today from a mum saying that it's her little girl's first birthday and she's just finished quite an emotional chapter. It's like the newborn chapter that I talk about, and how it's given her some comfort, and yeah, it's given her validation that her experiences, well, she's not alone. And I think the fact that I've had the chance to sit down and write down all of these experiences, which so many mums don't get, when you get that time to focus and really ponder on the things that you've been through, is sort of, it's given women something to point to. And I've heard people say that they've literally pointed out bits to their partner to say, this is how I feel. I've heard people saying that peri-mental health units are suggesting it. It's been brought up in therapy sessions. And it's just, it's so joyful that it's connecting and offering hope, I think. That's what I really want to do. There's so much joy at the end of it all.
Yes.
Good. Well, the name of the book is called My Child, Other Mistakes and How to Ruin Your Life in the Best Possible Way.
Yeah.
It's like you started and then you brought it back at the end in the best possible way.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's like I said, the story of me deciding to get pregnant, having the baby. But I think it's basically the book I wish I could have read when I was pregnant. Yeah. So it's very honest. It's funny. Should be. I'm a comedian, otherwise that would be very sad. But yeah, it's very, very raw, and I talk about the very tricky newborn days. I had quite a rough time.
And they are.
They are rough, yeah.
You know, they're lovely, but they are hard.
And I don't think I'd quite expected that, Alex, and I don't know if you felt like that, but I don't think...
Massive shock.
Yeah, I think we talk about the baby a lot.
Not the third time. Yeah. Definitely the first time.
You knew what you were doing by then.
I was in for, yeah.
But yeah, I think I hadn't quite...
Oh, yeah, this one, he's
you're
the
an expert.
We bow down to Jermaine.
It's a different conversation.
But I think, yeah, to be able to write it all down has really helped sort of clarify my thoughts on it. And I think probably I had postnatal depression, and it was only really sort of considering it and sort of, you know, sort of processing it all as I wrote it that I realised. And I think it's quite nice to be able to sort of talk about sort of postnatal depression from, you know, obviously I'm not a medical professional, but just from an emotional experience, I can talk about how I felt and what it was like to go through it, and also what it was like to come through the other side. Yeah. And that's the message I really want to share.
And as you say, reading that for other new mums is priceless.
Definitely. Well, as well as writing the book, Ellie, you starred in a show that I absolutely loved, Ted Lasso, which is still available on Apple TV+. You started filming the new series yet? Because I'm desperate for the new series, obviously.
The third series, is underway.
You play Sassy Collins, don't you?
Yes.
Their character was really interesting.
Oh, she's a really fun character. Yeah, she's exactly what her name suggests. She's really sassy, and I get to say very brilliantly written, gorgeous little sound bites. Yeah, it's an absolute gift of a part. I feel very lucky.
Lovely.
Very lucky.
Now, we also saw you in the Great Pottery Throwdown.
Yeah.
Because the host had broken a leg.
Yes.
Loads of people have tweeted us and got in touch saying that they absolutely loved you on that.
Oh,
now,
thank you.
what was the experience like from your point of view?
I loved it. So, yeah, I was filling in for Siobhan Mazzini, who broke her leg very badly. So I stepped in, and knowing nothing about pottery, so I really jumped into it. Honestly, it was one of my favourite working experiences ever. It was as joyful as it looks on the telly. And you don't always say that.
And it is a really joyful programme.
It's gorgeous.
It's so warm, isn't it?
Yeah, really gorgeous.
No, brilliant.
Well, Ellie's book, My Child and Other Mistakes, How to Ruin Your Life in the Best Possible Way, is available